Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed last week's video, and if you remember we talked about Zacchaeus, the man who climbed a tree because he wanted to see Jesus. Now if you think really hard back to that video, you'll remember that I said that every year before Great Lent starts, the church tells us the story of Zacchaeus to help us prepare for Great Lent. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the ways that you and I can prepare for Great Lent so that when it starts in just a couple of weeks, and it'll be here before you know it, you'll be set and ready to go to make it the best Lent ever. Now, Great Lent focuses on three really important factors: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So today's activity is a little bit different than last week. Instead of just being a coloring sheet, this week we're going to kind of work through the activity together. So at this point, if you don't have the activity printed out and ready to go, pause the video and ask your parents if they can print it out. And once you have it printed, you'll need scissors and a glue stick, and then you'll be ready to go and we can work through it together. Now today's activity is a lot of fun and the instructions are printed there, but I'm going to help you work through it. So, you see on the first sheet it has three squares. One of them says prayer, one of them says fasting, and one of them says almsgiving. So, what we're going to do is cut out all the pictures from the second sheet and glue them in the appropriate spot, whether they refer to ways that we can pray, or increase our fasting, or increase our almsgiving. Now, during Great Lent, the church focuses on those three factors: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, so that we can grow closer to God and try and do the things that He wants us to, the things that make Him happy, and not just the things that we want to do, or just the things that make us happy. So, as we are preparing for Great Lent, which again just starts in a couple of weeks, we're going to look at some things that we can do so that when Great Lent starts, we know exactly how we're going to pray, exactly how we're going to fast, and exactly how we're going to give our alms. So, what is prayer? Well, you guys probably know a little bit. It's a way that we can communicate with God, and we can thank Him for all the things that He's done for us and given to us, and we can ask Him to help us with other things. It's also a good way to pray for other people, to ask God to bless other people, like our parents and our siblings or our friends from school or anything like that. So, during Great Lent, we want to try to increase our prayer as much as possible. So, take a look at those pictures that you've cut out and figure out which of them relate to how you can pray more. And you can get your parents' help with this if you're not quite sure. There are three pictures from that second sheet that have all the pictures on them that go in the box that says prayer. Once you've figured those out, come back to the video and we'll work on the next one. Now, the next box says fasting. Now, what is fasting? Well, fasting is a way to give up something that you really like to show God that you love Him more than you really like all the things here on this earth. For adults in the Orthodox Church, they typically fast from meat and dairy, which means that during the entire course of Great Lent, they don't eat any meat and they don't eat any dairy, like cheese and eggs or anything like that. But for little kids, sometimes it's not as easy to not eat meat or not eat dairy. So talk to your parents and your priest about what the best decision is for you. Some other options to increase your fasting are to cut out other things that you might really enjoy. For example, you could choose one food that you really like, maybe like chocolate or cookies, and decide that you're going to not eat any chocolate or cookies, or maybe not eat as much during Great Lent. Again, to show God that you love Him more than you love the chocolate and the cookies. And it's not going to be very easy, but by working a little harder and trying to do something that's a little bit more difficult, you're showing God that you're devoted to doing what He wants you to do. Another option for fasting, it doesn't just have to be with what you're eating. It can be with the kind of things that you do. For example, if you like to play on the iPad or the PlayStation or Xbox or anything like that, or maybe even just watch TV, one option to fast would be to limit the amount of time that you spend watching TV or playing video games or anything like that, and instead spend that time doing other things like maybe playing outside or learning more about Jesus and the things that he wants you to do. So again, talk with your parents and try and figure out the best option for you so that you can offer a little bit up and fast during this great Lent. And take a look at that sheet and find 3 more items that go in the fasting category. Once you've done that, we'll talk about the 3rd one there, which says almsgiving. So, almsgiving is giving a little bit of the money that you have to people who are in need. Sometimes you might be riding with your parents and there might be a homeless person on the side of the road, and maybe your parents have stopped and given that person a little bit of money. Or maybe you've seen someone in a TV show, or you've seen someone on the side of the road that needs a little bit of help, and they don't have all of the great things like you do, like a bed and a house and food to eat all the time. So God asks us to help those people by giving them some of the great things that we have so that they can use them. And I know that when you're younger, you may not have a ton of money, but maybe you get an allowance or you have some money that you got for your birthday or Christmas or something like that, and you can talk to your parents about donating some of that to help those who are in need. It can be as easy as giving money to a homeless person on the side of the road, like your parents might do. Or your church probably has a donation basket where they'll collect money and then distribute it to those in need on their own. So talk to your parents and see how you can give alms during this great Lent, and find those last 3 pictures that relate to almsgiving and put them on the sheet. Now, once you have all the pictures glued on, have your parents take a picture of it and send it to me for a chance to win a really awesome prize. And I'm gonna show you what that prize is. The person who is randomly drawn from everyone who submits this week will win a really awesome goodie basket. It's got candy and sweets and other things like that. And you can win this gift basket if you complete the activity, have your parents take a picture of it, and send it to me at my email, which is on the screen now, and it's also on the worksheet. I know you guys are going to do a great job, and I can't wait to see all of your submissions. Good luck!